Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Gaming Den. It is the 2nd of October, and this is the first video of this month for this channel. I am super excited. Friday, I have a segment starting up called Friday Night Frights. The video will be going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So all of my Friday videos this month will be uploaded at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today is not only the first episode of the month, but it is also the first episode of my new segment. For this, it is going to be Madness Mondays. And the plan is to be uploading horror games for this month. Now, just a warning for Friday Night Frights. They are horror-themed games. They are not all horror games. But I wanted to do something a little more different. In fact, this first episode of Friday Night Frights will be me playing with a special guest, so look forward to that. But today we are trying out a different game, and it is called Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. It is a free game. It was developed and published by Golem. Face unspeakable horrors, succumb to madness, Madness Monday. Welcome to a free demonic narrative experience inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. It was listed, I believe, to say take about 30 minutes to complete. So we'll probably take about an hour. We'll see. There's 6 achievements to unlock. Let's just find out what we've got in here, shall we? Alright, so I just fiddled around with the audio, and it's got voiceover as well. Well, let's see if it's good. Here we go. Dagon is a faithful, interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Let's move my mic a bit. Sorry. Okay. Oh. During the game, you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others reveal interesting facts about the original short stories, historical background, and the author. Okay. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. Okay. Let's look around. Turn around. Like that. Aha! Hey, found the first piece of trivia. I'm not going to read this. You can pause this and read it if you want. I will not. Back! I'll try finding them. Yes. Okay. We're not done here. Alright. Progression.
Homeless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below. Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate. When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Alright, how much can I look around? So I'm just limited to the desk. I am looking around. Turn around.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Ooh. Oh. Anything? Aha! Lovecraft and the Great War. Oh, okay. I'm skimming through it. You can pause and read it yourself if you want. Yay, I found 2. Forward! I'm hit!
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation. so that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Alright. Aha! The Huns.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Nope, we're not going to progress yet. Not until I find out if there's anything else here. Okay, there's nothing else here. We shall continue. I'm wet.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings. Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator. Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
I don't know if that was from the game or from my cat. Really? Nothing? Nothing? Tra-la-la! Ooh, now I want to watch Labyrinth. Alright. Forward.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
I swear. Aha! Nope. Damn it. Aha! I hope that wasn't there before and I missed it. July 1917. Published in 1919. Okay.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue. The change happened whilst I slept. Its details I shall never know, for my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Ah! 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 Alright, there's nothing else here. Move
When
on.
at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see, and in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished. For there was in the air, and in the rotting soil, a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish, and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain. Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity. There was nothing within hearing, and nothing in sight, save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Inky mist, you shoo 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 shoo. Inky mist, you do 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 inky mist. I don't see anything. This the kind of thing where they'd put it up in the sky. Ah! I found it. Mm-hmm. A fish head. Okay. Uh-huh. See, I almost went past it.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Ah, damn. I have a feeling I might have missed a few already.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
Why is that moving back there?
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time. That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
I'm looking everywhere that I can think of before we move on. I guess we're moving on, because I don't see anything.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
I don't see anything else, so I'll progress.
All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
Just clicking. Ah, the sun! Oh, I guess we're going forward. Really? That's a whale. This is like a tentacle or a giant crab leg. What the hell? What the hell? Ugh.
That night I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Okay. I keep looking up in the sky, expecting to see it in like the clouds or something. Oh. Why do I feel like I'm missing some already?
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance. An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill. I know not why my dreams were so wild that night, But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain, I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more. Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again. And in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy. Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset. Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Ah! Okay.
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon, whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine. I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Oh, hell no.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined. Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent, whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual. Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath, gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
I keep looking around expecting to see it in the damn sky. Surprised there's not one on there. Okay.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself. But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude, and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith, whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Did you? I see nothing.
the zenith shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm, and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope. Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
For sure looking for that damn symbol now. I'm not seeing it.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
How the hell am I up here?
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Ha! Contains many themes and storytelling methods. Okay.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a Doré. I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men, though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer. They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background. For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born. Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it. With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters. Vast, Polyphemus-like and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith.
That actually gave me a tingle.
About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds. I think I went mad then.
Welcome to Madness Monday.
Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
I don't appreciate how it sounds like it's in a shower.
I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing. distinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods. When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital, brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing, nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
3 essays. The defense reopens. The defense remains open in final words. Okay. Make sure that there's not just... So there's probably been a couple that were in other places that I missed. Himself an atheist and absolute materialist. How much you want to bet? Craft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism in 1915. Guarantee you that I missed some in other locations just because I found one. Like, okay, good. I'm good to go. Got to go. I thought that was my door open for a second.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
The Philistines worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. In Hebrew, the word Dagon was a common noun for grain. Okay. The more you know. Nope, we're not going forward yet. There's bound to be another. Have that. The fact that we had 3 in that one room just makes me paranoid. Think I'm paranoid. Alright.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
There's 2 here. The Cthulhu mythos. American writer, anthologist. Okay. The marketer attempts to find a job influenced by advice. Okay. It must be nice. It must be nice to have Washington on your side. I don't know why that just popped in my head. Okay, fine. Fine! That was odd. Aha! These days, the word scientist is a widely accepted term. At the time Dagon was published, it was subject to a wide debate. Okay, yeah, that was small. I almost didn't see that. So now I'm thinking that... Phone vibrating. Phone vibrating. Yeah, look at the details.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing. I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Tobacco and alcohol. Lovecraft hated tobacco, even though he used to smoke when he was 12 in order to look and feel like an adult. Okay. Are we nearing the end?
Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm, a mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man-of-war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Don't tell me I missed one. I probably missed one.
The end is near. I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
There's bound to be one more somewhere around. I know it. I just have that feeling. I got a feeling. That's just so creepy. Alright, here we go.
It shall not find me. God, that hand! The window! The window!
I'm looking. I know. You're like, do it! Do it already! But I'm looking. 'Cause I have a feeling I'm about to jump out the damn window and I'm gonna miss the last thing. I probably already missed it, damn it. Here we go. Thank you for playing. If you enjoyed immersing yourself in our little pool of cosmic horror, we would appreciate it if you took a moment to rate Dagon and check out our other games and DLCs. I love the logo there, the picture. It's beautiful. Damn. So I missed 4 of those things. Son of a bitch. The Railway Horror is coming out next, I think. That's coming out soon. The little glass bottle I haven't done. Alright. So, that was interesting. I think it kind of went how I expected it to. It wasn't bad. There were definitely parts that were very creepy and creeped me out. When the thing jumped out of the pond, the little body of water in front of the obelisk, that made me kind of... like my intestines and my internal organs all just kind of clenched a bit. Like, what the fuck is that? It was interesting. Very interesting. Let me know what you all think. Because like I said, the railway or railroad The next one is coming out soon. If you liked this, let me know, and I will probably get that and give it a shot. But I am excited for next Monday because I already know what I'm going to play. I've got 3 other games installed that I'm going to try out. We'll see what happens. If you happen to see or know of any other indie games that are horror games, things like that, let me know and comment down below. I'll check them out. I use Steam mostly, of course. I am also planning on getting The Quarry. I've watched gameplay of that a long time ago and barely remember anything. But I know it's one of those games that has like different endings, like different things can happen, butterfly effect situations. Your actions have consequences in the game. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know. I might start doing that either next month or December. We'll see what happens. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all have a wonderful October. Sorry, I got disturbed because something fell out there, so I'm about to go check that out. Gonna go ahead and end it there. So y'all take care of yourselves, and until next time, game on.